Well, hello. I'm Deirdre Vervo, your host of Let's Talk Seniors, Memory Care Issues, Alzheimer's, Dementia, and Parkinson's. We are here to bring you relevant topics of the day regarding seniors and everything of interest to seniors. We have a very hot real estate market now, and there are a lot of seniors that are interested in knowing, is it a good time to sell? If so, what should I be doing and how to go about it? It's very different than when you may have bought your house 30, 40 years ago. We have a special guest, Chris Sinatra from Higgins Realty, who is an expert and a senior specialist on the market. So I'm going to bring him right on. Hi, Chris Sinatra. How are you?
Hello, Deirdre Vervo. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for joining us today. And I know that you work with a lot of seniors and you have a lot of things to tell them and tips on saving them money and time when they're about to sell their home. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the market as it has been going on right now?
Sure. So we have been in a very strong seller's market for the past almost 4 years, and it continues. Pretty much every property, every neighborhood, every town in the areas I service, which are Fairfield and New Haven counties in Connecticut, is a hot market. There are buyers, tens of buyers out there for every property that comes on. So it's not only a good time, it's an excellent time for a senior to consider selling their property.
Okay. And what do they need to do in preparation? Because, a lot of seniors have lived in their home for 30, 40, 50 years,
Yep.
and they've accumulated a lot of memories and a lot of furniture. What should they be doing?
First step would be call me or call their realtor and have them come in and walk through the home with them. Take just a few minutes and basically declutter. Things that they're not using on a regular basis should be stored away, should be sold, should be donated, or just removed. That's the number one thing. That goes not only for seniors, but for everybody. Declutter, because when you're ready to sell, my job and a realtor's job is to put the buyer into your home, and they have to picture themselves living there. Very difficult to do when there's a lot of clutter. There's a lot of your personal belongings. They want to envision themselves being there. So one of our jobs is to ensure that it's less clutter, and that personal items such as family pictures and things like that, those have been temporarily removed.
So take those off the walls and box them up for your next move.
Exactly.
Now, should a senior find a place to live first, or should they sell their house first and look?
Oh, no, definitely find where you're going next. Doesn't matter where you're going, but definitely designate a location for your next home first. Then and only then should we start marketing your home.
How long has it been taking for homes on the market to sell?
1-2 days up to a few weeks. But no property that is marketed and priced properly should really take more than a few weeks in this market right now.
Well, let's talk about timing. Let's say you are going to put the house on the market and it's going to sell that quickly, but you're not ready to move as a senior. It takes a little longer to pack up all your memories. Let's say you don't want to move for 2 or 3 months. What do you do in that case?
Well, again, you're going to reverse engineer everything. You're going to lean heavily on myself or your realtor to line the timing up that works for you. And I work backwards half the time because I'm working on your schedule, not mine or anybody else's, because I work for you. And if you know that you want to move this summer when the weather's nice, and you have your place picked out and you know that you're going to be able to move in there June 1st, then we should definitely go on the market about 4, 6, 8 weeks prior to that, in hopes of getting everything lined up. And in a perfect world, if this is what you want, we would do 2 closings one day, a buy and a
But
sell.
if I were the senior and I wanted to move 3 months out, couldn't you
Yeah,
come in and make a later close date? I don't have to close just because people want to move in a week, right?
correct. We're gonna choose the timing. We are in control of the situation, and that control is something we have to maintain for your benefit. So we control the buy side, and we pick the closing date, or the move date on your buying, because a lot of times you're not buying something, you're just relocating to wherever, and we orchestrate that to time out with what works best for you. A lot of people will move and they'll want to leave themselves a week, a month, two, to move their things slowly rather than bring it all in one day, and then sell. So again, all of that is worked out before you go ahead with the steps to moving.
What I think is awesome about working with you as a senior specialist is you have the moving company, you recommend moving companies, you recommend auctioneers, you recommend places that you can donate to, and you also have repair crew if needed. And I really appreciate that because it's overwhelming for anybody to move, and it's really overwhelming if you've lived somewhere and you could be 80 years old. And um, I really appreciated how much you helped my mom in her move.
Mhm.
My mom was living in New York and moved to Connecticut, and Chris lined up a senior specialist realtor like himself
Mhm.
in New York to who auctioned off her merchandise and did the clean out of her house, and even had a cleaning lady that can go in and clean for her. And what you recommended to my mom was ideal because my mom did not want to have people coming in and out of her house. It's COVID, and sometimes she likes a nap, and she just didn't want to be bothered. So she moved first
Yep.
and took the stuff she wanted, moved it into moved from a big house to a one room apartment.
Mhm.
And if she still needed more stuff after she decorated, she had time to go back to her house and take more stuff before it went on the market. And then when it was on the market, it sold immediately. And my mom, as you know, she needed a new deck, and that was going to be about 35,000, and she was ready to build it because in the houses that she sold prior, you had to fix things up. But
Sure.
you said, no, no, no. You said, don't do anything. Just disclose that it needs a new deck. And she got top dollar over ask in a day. She got like 5 offers, and she was able to move with peace, let them, do what they want after, close whenever they wanted because she was already out of there. So it's not like a senior has to be, or anybody has to be in their house while people are coming through and looking and measuring and all. It's disconcerting.
It's a lot on your plate for anybody. It's a lot more on your plate for seniors. I went through it with my folks. I went through it with your mom, and I'm blessed to be a part of the senior division at the Vanderbilt team, the team that I'm on within the Higgins Real Estate Group, and we have a great group of people, and we truly are one-stop shopping. We can provide you with, as you just mentioned, an arm's length list of anybody you will need to assist you along the way, with the goal really being we're working on your schedule, we're working at your pace, and you really don't have to do anything but, like the commercial says, point. If you could point and
Um,
give direction, you're in good hands.
yeah, the packing and going through things is overwhelming. And I think that kind of just stops people from doing it. But I love your advice of take what you want and move
Yep.
first, and then you're good to go. Uh, you could always go back if you need more, or bring junk back if you didn't need it, or if it's too much for your new home. But you really need to have the new place picked out first before you
100%.
sell,
Yep.
because you don't want to
Regardless.
sell and be stuck.
No, no, you don't, and that has happened, and it can be done. It's just a little bit more complicated, and I find that the seniors just don't want to do that. So, step one, work with a realtor, if you're buying something or renting something. If not, and your next move, your next home is going to be elsewhere, designate that. And I can't say that enough. Find your new home first, then and only then do we begin the marketing and sale of your current home.
So I know you've worked with a lot of seniors, and
Mhm.
what are the kind of things that you would recommend to them if they were downsizing, moving somewhere? What types of places would you recommend to them, or they should look out for, or not, amenity wise and things like that?
Well, every senior is going to be different. There are a lot of seniors who are just content being in their home with TV, books, and just relaxing, having quiet time, family and friends. Other seniors are going to be much more active. They're going to want community. They're going to want events and activities, not around the clock, but morning, noon, and night. So it really depends where you see yourself in the next stage of life.
Okay. And I know some things to look out for. I know you've said that seniors, if they're going to an apartment building that is like 10 floors high, they have to
Mhm.
realize that if there's a fire or the elevator is broken, they're walking down 10 flights. So you have to really be concerned, think about, where do you throw out your garbage? Do they allow pets?
Yep.
Where would you have to walk if you needed to walk down if the elevator was broken, for
Yeah.
instance? How
And
far
that's
away
all.
is how
Yeah,
far
that's
away is
all the list that we'll go over at the very beginning. The first question is, okay, you want to sell your property. Where are you going next? And if they have it picked out, great. Then half of my job is done, and I can focus on the sale on their calendar. But if they aren't sure of what their options are, we can go over. We can go through a list of, would you consider living in this type of community, this type of situation. And then as we get closer to their desired move date, we narrow the field, we narrow the options, we get a little bit more pinpoint onto buildings, communities, neighborhoods, etc., of where they see themselves. That all the amenities and all the extras that they want or don't want, are going to be available for them. But it's a little bit different how you look at things. You mentioned elevators, and they're great when they're working, but unfortunately, at times they don't. So that's something you want to consider. Um,
Mhm.
Parking, if they're driving, having a designated parking spot that's not too far away. Some of these larger complexes, your assigned parking spot might be 2 blocks away,
Yeah.
or not covered. So you want to look at all that. And again, that's my job. I can get you all that information up front so you can make the best decision for you.
Mhm. One nice thing that we do as a senior community, because we have senior homes for seniors with memory care issues,
Mhm.
oftentimes most of their money is tied up in their home,
Mhm.
which was the case with my own mother-in-law. And
Right.
we can take people in and wait for the home to be sold
Yep.
to get the money, because people are sitting on their biggest asset. At
Yes.
the end, if they're older, they may just be living on Social Security or Social Security and pension, a little savings, but their biggest asset is the home they've owned forever, and they need to be able to get the money out of there to pay for
Well,
their
by
next
you
move.
by you offering seniors who want to move into your particular homes, that's a huge relief.
Mm,
Um, and it
yeah.
depends on the facilities, because most facilities, don't offer something like that. But you're in your particular situation. It's fantastic. They can move in, they can bring what they want. Um,
It's
to
worth asking. It's worth asking every facility, because
absolutely.
if you need to move your parent into nursing home assisted living memory care, let's say, if it's at that stage,
Mhm.
as a child, you might not want to be tying up your funds. You can ask them, okay, I can give you X a month. Can you wait for the house to be sold in this market? That should be a yes, because the house can be sold very quickly.
Correct. Yeah. And most of the places, if they do offer it, or can be convinced to do so, we'll give you 60 to 90 days. So, everyone's covered, and that's one less thing for your senior to have to deal with.
Now, do they need to use a special attorney?
Nope. Nope.
So just any
You should
attorney is good. Just their regular
say
real estate attorney.
experienced, licensed Connecticut real estate attorney. That's really all you need. There are attorneys who handle other aspects of a senior's life, trusts and wills and things like that. But that's different.
So you don't need your elder care attorney. You just a regular real estate attorney to close your sale.
You would need an elder care attorney if you have unresolved issues with how you're going to proceed to your next home. Yeah, that would
Or
be
if
a
it's in a
good.
trust, if your house is in a trust
Yeah.
already, or okay.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I love how you take the overwhelm out of everything, Chris. I really do. How you are right there for them to say, I have somebody that can help you pack. I have somebody that can help you move. I have somebody that can, box things up for you. I have somebody that will help you move and put things into your next home. I have somebody that will get rid of your stuff to clear it out, and cleaning people and everything, because that right there, just thinking of those 5 or 6 different people is a lot. So it's good that you have a lot of experienced people that have already done this for you, for many seniors in the area, and they've been happy with the service. So that's all a big plus. And it's also great to know that right now you can get top dollar and not have to repair anything.
Absolutely. The biggest obstacle that I've run into over the past few years with seniors is the feeling of being overwhelmed. Oh, I've been here for, 20, 30, 40 years or more, and it's just so much stuff. And I had this conversation with my own mother. It's like, Mom, just do one thing a day, literally one thing. And that's how she started. And we
Mhm.
were able to accomplish what really got her to the point of wanting to make her next move when we were done, and it took her less than 6 months with some help. And that's the thing. Yeah, you gotta be okay with getting help and asking for help. But it's a great opportunity to move to the next chapter of your life. And right now, as you said, the market is super super hot for sellers, so taking advantage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
I know in past markets, people would have to like fix up a house or take a very low offer.
Mhm.
And because a lot of times seniors have lived there so long, and if they're 70s, 80s, 90s, they don't care about renovating the kitchen, still works. But they would be taking a lot less money for their house. But now they're getting top dollar no matter what. So it's
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah. The last two seniors I've worked with over the past few months, they've asked, what they should do to prepare their home for market because they were ready to go. They were both called me and they said, we're ready now. And I said, well, declutter. But there's really no necessary repairs to make. Should I paint the bathroom? Should I do this? No, it really wasn't necessary. The house was in a good, livable condition, and let a buyer who was bringing their own picture to the purchase, let them do the changes and improvements to the house.
Mhm.
Not necessarily for the senior to tackle that.
Thank you so much, Chris. And I just have one last question that I know everybody must ask you.
Mhm.
Chris Sinatra, are
Yeah.
you related?
Related to my mother and my father. Um, and Guy used to sing a little bit from New Jersey, where I'm actually from. So the answer to your half question is yes, I am. I am related to Old Blue Eyes. Yes.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so Sinatra sells. I know that's your caption, and we look forward to seeing you again on our program. And thank you so much for helping all the seniors and taking the overwhelm out.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me today, Deirdre.
You're welcome. Well, that was Chris Sinatra of the Higgins Group, Senior Specialist. He will help you whenever you're ready to sell. Um, and it is a good time right now. But whenever you're ready, he is there for you. So I'm going to bid you all adieu and see you next time. Hi, Deirdre here again. Thank you for joining me on Let's Talk Seniors Memory Care Issues. Is this an issue hitting home? Do you have a parent or loved one with memory care issues who feels not safe at home anymore? Are isolation, falls, and safety issues becoming a big concern? Welcome to Dogwood Senior Home, premier boutique residential senior living specializing in memory care. It's country living at its best in the Huntington section of Shelton, Connecticut. Senior residential homes are concepts sweeping the nation with 47,000 across the U.S. We're pleased to open Dogwood Senior Home as it will be only number 6 for Connecticut. Brand new, sparkling clean, and safe. We are COVID-free. Residential care homes boast a very low COVID infection rate across the nation. This is due to the intimacy of size and speed in which the caretakers can shift to accommodate immediate needs. They are much safer than the large homes and facilities, as you can imagine. It has been documented that residents have less falls and a better quality of life in a residential home environment. Our home is more affordable than the big box facility. You pay one all-inclusive price, and that price is guaranteed for the life of the resident. With an incredible 1-to-3 caregiver ratio, which you won't find anywhere else. Our friendly, loving caregivers are dedicated and trained in Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson issues. Call me at 203-689-7562 for a talk and tour. I would love to meet you and your loved one. See you soon. Bye.